This is an election like no other, and Iowa voters are making their voices heard. Recent polls show some of these races are going to be close,
including the race for president and congressional races within our state. We have the experts on standby to help us make sense of it all. So let's go now to Amanda Krenz. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, thank you both. We do have some great experts with us in the studio tonight. Let me introduce them quickly. This is David Kochel. He is a Republican strategist, and Matt Paul is a Democratic analyst. Again, thank you both for being here tonight. I will say, Matt, I'm going to throw you under the bus real quick. Last time I talked to him, he said, "You're a great guy, David. You're a good friend, but you're wrong about everything."
Yeah. Well,
so
he would say that. He would. Say
what did I say that was wrong? I don't. Let me know.
Well, that's what tonight's about. We get to see who's right.
We get to see. That's true. That's true. We wanted to start by talking about the Des Moines Register poll that came out, the Iowa poll that showed Kamala Harris in the lead. You both have really interesting opinions about that. David, we'll start with you. What was your reaction to that poll?
Well, first of all, it was a thunderclap around the country.
Yeah.
The national press has been talking about it for 4 days now. It's gotten so much attention because nobody expected Kamala Harris to be in the lead. I certainly didn't expect it, and I actually think the poll is wrong. We've kind of dug into it. I've looked at the crosstabs. There's been a ton of movement among women, and particularly women over 55, and it seems like a real outlier to me to have a lead of, I think, something like 32 points among those women. So we'll see if that holds up. My guess is that poll is gonna miss tonight. We'll just see how badly it misses.
Okay, Matt, same question for you. What was your reaction?
I was shocked as well, but I'm not one to ever bet against Ann Seltzer. I think she knows the state and the electorate better than anybody else. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see what we see tonight and where those differences are in senior women, which we saw some movement, but also for President Trump, he lost some support among men. I think that's really interesting. I think the post-Dobbs decision impact is really interesting. It's a big player in the congressional races, especially in the first and the third here in the state, which are so very close.
One thing that I wondered about when I first saw the results of the poll, how is this going to impact voters? Will the voters who haven't cast their ballot yet, Democrats, for example, are they motivated to say, wow, we have a chance now? Now I'm going to go cast my ballot? Or are Republicans thinking, whoa, I haven't cast my ballot because I thought Trump was a shoo-in. I better get out and cast my vote. Maybe I wasn't planning to prior. What did you guys think of how it would affect voters?
I always start from the premise that presidential election year turnout is going to be high in Iowa no matter what.
Yeah.
So if it affects it a little bit on the margins, yeah, it might motivate some Republicans who weren't worried about this election, although they've been getting hammered with advertising and direct mail and phone calls and texts for the congressional races. Hard to see that they would not be motivated to vote, but I do think there's probably some potential that it certainly breathes some life into Democrats who might have been dejected about the presidential race here.
Yeah, Matt, what did you think? Did you think it would affect voter mindset?
I think maybe around the margin. I think it did encourage some people, some Democrats that maybe thought, what's the point? Trump's going to win Iowa by a large margin. They're probably energized. The other thing that I think we're watching really closely is the impact on the shorter early vote window in Iowa. We're going to see how that plays out tonight. We're watching that really closely.
What key counties are you guys keeping an eye on in terms of, we've talked a lot of national in the couple of minutes we've had, but more locally, what are you guys going to be watching for this evening?
Dallas County.
No question
No
about
question.
it. And just explain to people who might not understand why Dallas County, why that is.
Well, I think it's key to what happens in the 3rd Congressional District. Remember, Congressman Nunn won in 2022 by 0.6%. So a really close margin the last time. I think Lenon Beckham can count on a strong turnout in Polk County, but there's been tremendous growth in Dallas County. And I think what that suburban vote does is critically important to what happens in the 3rd.
David, your thoughts on Dallas County, because I know you're watching that county in particular.
That's right. Dallas County is the most important county to watch in this congressional district. It's the fastest growing county in Iowa. It was a reliably Republican county. But in the Trump era, there's been a lot of inversion taking place in both parties, where some of those college-educated working, white-collar workers have trended more towards the Democrats, and the non-college voters have trended more towards Republicans. And so, we'll see if that continues in Dallas County. Normally, what happens now, that what we can be looking for is, do the rural counties really balance that out? Are those margins going to continue to grow as they have since basically 2014?
And then finally, we have a few seconds left. What have you seen in terms of early voting at this point? I know you've looked at some numbers and data.
Republicans have surprisingly good performance in early voting. We were down 18% to the Democrats in 2016, down 12% in 2020. We're up 1% in 2024, and we're particularly turning out low propensity voters, which I think is good news for the Republicans.
Matt, what about you?
Well, I think Republicans spent a lot of money on their early vote program. Are they going to get that return on investment tonight? We'll see. Democratic voters tend to be late voters. We'll see how they turn out, but strong turnout thus far. It's encouraging.
All right. Thank you both. We know that you're going to be with us throughout the evening here and there, so we appreciate your time. We know we're all going to be watching the results as we roll in. So ladies, we'll toss it back to you for now.
Yeah, we are definitely awaiting those results. Thanks, Amanda.